But the whole concept of it is getting it more out there, and it is. I just tend to believe that, yeah, they're not filtering things, but a lot of evidence says that they are, especially because you can't see anything really about this X on anywhere but X. Like, it's one of the two most famous people ever talking together, and you can't see it anywhere because it looks to me like they're filtering it. I don't know. I hate conspiracy theories, but it's a pretty obnoxious. Hello and welcome to the FasterFreedom Show. My name is Sam.
And I'm Lucas.
And Lucas, we have a fun episode today. A little bit different. We like to change things up.
We sure do. Not really real estate focused directly.
Correct. Not directly.
But one real estate guy involved.
Yeah.
One guy doesn't like to own anything.
Correct. I think it's just one of those things where we just like to kind of have fun on this show and not just be robots, only talking real estate. So today we're going to talk about one of the most famous interviews in history when Elon Musk interviewed Donald Trump on X just a few days ago. Now, obviously, I'm sure there's other historical interviews, but they are two of the top 5, maybe top 10 most famous people in the world interviewing each other. It's usually somebody, not famous interviewing somebody famous or not in that same sphere.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I haven't seen much about it, so I'm going to hear some live clips today. So to hear you say it was one of the most famous interviews ever is wild to me.
Well, I mean, think about it. Elon Musk is the wealthiest man in the world. They're up there with it. And Donald Trump is the most polarizing person probably, and former president. Yeah, so those type of conversations don't happen very often. I'm trying to think of another more like famous interview style. So what we're going to do, by the way, we're going to talk about a little bit more, talk about some topics, and then we're actually going to listen to clips of it and give you our feedback. So if you haven't heard it, you weren't on the X space, you're going to hear clips of it now, and we're going to give our reaction to kind of what it looks like 1, 2, maybe 6 or 7 clips. All right, let's get rocking. Let's just get into clip 1.
As this massive attack illustrates, there's a lot of opposition to people just hearing what President Trump has to say. And but I'm honored to have this conversation. I want to emphasize it's a conversation, and it's really intended to just get a feel for what Donald Trump is just like in a conversation. So it's hard to catch a vibe about someone if you just don't hear them talk in a normal way. And when there's an adversarial interview, like no one's themselves in an adversarial interview.
Oh, catch a vibe, Elon.
Oh, Elon.
He's so hip.
He's so hip to the phrases. So he, basically just saying he just wants to have a conversation. Obviously, he's supporting Trump, so he's a friendly conversation, but just wants to be able to have people hear him talking and get his voice and his name out because he's supporting him. He's throwing a lot of weight behind it. This is definitely something, a first for to have, somebody owning a platform, having the former presidential candidate on in an interview style. It's quite wild. So what are your thoughts about that initial clip?
Yeah, I think it's good. I like his point about adversarial interview, and someone could definitely have a guard up at all times and be automatically, what's the word I'm thinking of? Automatically like defensive, yeah, and maybe a little too in your face, which Donald kind of already is that.
Yeah,
so like he has plenty of that content out there. So it'll be nice to hear him in more of a normal setting for sure.
Okay, awesome. So that was clip 1. Let's get into clip 2. He's going to be talking, and this is an interesting thing. Trump has walked a very, intelligent line with this. He's talking about the Secret Service, and obviously there was the director resigned. There was a ton of issues, like some of the worst security you can have, but Trump hasn't really hammered them.
Surprises me.
Let's talk about they got to protect him now and later. So
yeah.
All right. So let's hear this clip about thanking the Secret Service.
So I was down, but the Secret Service guys, there were bullets flying right over my head. You could hear them go whizzing. And these guys came jumping on top of me, and a young lady, Kate, they moved so fast. And let me tell you, that took tremendous courage. Now, there was a lack of coordination. There was, obviously everybody understands that that building should have been covered. And that was the big thing.
Looking at the aerial views, that building would be like the #1 spot for a sniper. It's like if you were to pick what is the favorite place, if the goal is to assassinate, what's your favorite spot? That building. The roof of that building would be #1.
That would have been the spot.
It's like you can ask for a better location. It's like #1.
That would have been the spot. What people think is when the local policeman, who by the way, he really he did what he was supposed to do. He couldn't hold on any longer, and then when he got his head just peeking above, this guy standing there with a gun at his head. And when he fell down, again, hurt his ankle very badly, but he was making the calls. But what happened is the firing took place very soon.
Yeah, good. Yeah, very shortly after that, the local police officer confronted him and fell off the roof for sure. It doesn't sound like Donald. Do you think all this is just AI, Sam?
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
No, in general, yeah, walking a fine line. You said they got to protect him now and in the future. Part of the reason I haven't one thing I haven't liked about Donald Trump is I feel like he always blames others, and I feel like he's done a great job here. And not just they did some wrong stuff. Shit wasn't perfect, but he's done a great job of respecting the Secret Service, but not just 100%. They should have did this. They should have this. They should have this. So I agree. I think he's handled that very well.
Yeah, I think this is partially what you'll get in this type of interview. I think, as opposed to like when you're in front of thousands of people, you got to say stuff you want to get crowd jacked up, and if you're getting interviewed by somebody that's being you know what I mean, like they're just having a conversation, and of course there's awkward interruptions as there are between two very high powered people, and just the half a second delay of not being in the same room. But yeah, other than that, I agree. I think he took it the right way, and we'd had that one episode on it. It still is insane. Like Musk just says things that just sometimes they just make a lot. Like he's like, if I never thought of that exactly, but if there's one spot where you want to be to assassinate, it was on that roof. Like that's the best vantage point out of anywhere, is right there, and that's where he was.
We'll play the next clip, and I'll get back to it.
Yeah, this is a legal immigration clip. This is probably the big one.
I mean, would it be accurate to say that you're supportive of legal immigration, but we obviously need to shut down illegal immigration, and especially unvetted illegal immigration, because that's not the same as saying that everyone who's an illegal immigrant is bad. In fact, I think most people who are illegal immigrants are actually good, but you can't tell the difference unless there's a solid vetting of who comes across the border. Does that accurately represent your position?
I say it very simply. They have to come in legally. They have to be checked.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was that one. So yeah, this is my biggest, I have things with both sides I agree with and disagree with, on both sides, both candidates, a ton of things like that I am, lean that way or strong. Like the strongest opinion I have out of the entire thing, I think, is this illegal immigration thing, just having open borders. And I think a quote that I saw from Musk was he doesn't, and I don't know if I believe this, but if we have another 4 years of open borders, then that's going to really be detrimental. He said the country can't handle another 4 years. I'm sure that was a little bit of hyperbole.
Yeah, I think, I don't know really anybody's stance on this, honestly. I haven't dug into it too much, but just the logical thing in my eyes is, legal immigration is quality and can help our country, but illegal immigration could hurt our country, right? And I don't know what the setup is on the border. I've never been down there or whatever, but I don't understand why anybody would be for illegal immigration. So whatever that looks like, just, tightening up security or making it easier and more educated to become a citizen the right way. There's probably a lot of different pieces of that. It's probably very challenging, but in general, yeah, it seems like something that should be a focus.
All right, so let's go to the next one.
I beat Biden. He failed in the debate miserably, and some people said, "Oh, gee, it's too bad he did so badly," or "I did well in the debate." The first night they said, "Wow." One of the people at CNN said that was the greatest debate performance I've ever witnessed. And then 2 days later, they didn't talk about that. They just said he was bad. But that's okay. That's the way I get treated, and I don't mind that at all. What I can tell you is this. We cannot have a Democrat. We cannot have her. She's incompetent. She's as bad as Biden in a different...
Yeah.
Look, she hasn't done an interview since this whole scam started. And say what you want. This was a coup. This was a coup of a president of the United States. He didn't want to leave, and they said we can do it the nice way or we can do it the hard way.
Yeah, so that talked a little bit about the debate that I don't think anybody argues Biden did not do well.
Smash him, yeah.
I got a little bit of the Trumpisms there of like, I was the best ever, but then, it was an interesting thing. I also don't love the fact that it was done to where Kamala is the Democratic runner, and she didn't have to win anything. She just got appointed it because Biden wanted her to.
For sure. I mean, who knows? She probably, honestly, if it was done the right way from the beginning, she probably wouldn't be the leading candidate.
Yes.
But kind of is what we got. And she's the most known, I guess, because she's the vice president. So that helps. And I don't know how much of a chance she has, but they had zero chance before.
Yes.
But so maybe they went up a little bit, but in general, they knew they had to do something because President Biden was declining very, very quickly.
All right, let's get the next one about Putin.
B&E. About freaking B&E.
Bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
I know Putin very well. I got along with him very well. He respected me, and it's just one of those things. We would talk a lot about Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye. But I said, don't ever do it. Don't ever do it.
There's a little bit. I mean, who knows if that's true? I would assume that, like anybody else, Trump can stretch the truth. But, I mean, you never know that the proof a little bit of that he didn't, he apparently wanted to invade Ukraine for a long time and didn't do it.
Yeah, I think some of the world leaders that most everybody agree with are pretty dangerous. I feel like Trump has a good relationship with them for some reason. So, in his relationship with Putin was, I would say, a lot stronger than other people. So, maybe he could have had influence on that. Who knows?
And yeah, like North Korea, he had a relationship with.
Right. It's like the two like other world leaders that I know Trump has a relationship with are Kim Jong-un and Putin.
That's so weird. Yeah. I don't know why, but
yeah, they get along.
Yes. Yeah. All right, let's get to trip number 6. This one is about Biden blocks our pipeline but approves Russia one instead. Whatever the heck that means. Let's see what that says.
I shut down Nord Stream 2. That was the big oil pipeline, the biggest pipeline in the world going all over Europe. I shut it down. Biden came, and then they say, I loved Russia. I was a friend of Putin, and I loved Russia. No, he actually said to me one time, he said, if you're my friend, I'd hate to see you as an enemy. I shut down his pipeline. The biggest pipeline, they were looking at that to fund, and this pathetic president gets in there, and the first thing he did, one of the early things he did, is he shut down Keystone XL pipeline, which is our pipeline that would have employed 48,000 people, pipeline workers, shuts it down. That was, a massive job that Obama refused to allow. Yeah. I allowed it in my first week, because it was jobs and it moved oil. And by the way, in a much more environmentally friendly way. It's underground. It's not a truck that catches on fire or a train that catches on fire. But think of it. He shut down the XL pipeline, the Keystone XL pipeline. Yeah. He shuts that down and he approves the Russian pipeline.
Yeah, that one's just, don't really know.
Yeah, man, could you imagine being an engineer or a worker on those pipelines, and then it's like, oh, we're shut down. Hey, it's a go. Yeah. Oh, we're shut down. That'd be so frustrating.
Every few years, yeah.
Yeah, just back and forth. So you got to get as much done as you can in 4 years, and yeah, what a mess.
All right, let's get the last one. Musk endorses Trump.
I think it's a massive. I think we're in massive trouble, frankly, with the Kamala administration, and that's my honest opinion. And I think really it's essential that you win for the good of the country for this election. And I'm just stating my opinion.
He endorses him. I think that's fine. I see the note is unethical for celebrities or influencers to sway public opinion with endorsements. That's what they do. I think I carry more weight over endorsement than I do. I like these actors, but I see Robert Downey Jr. and all these people, they do these movie style commercials about endorsing. It was Biden and Obama and Kamala. Now you see them do these white backgrounds and these really serious, you have to Musk has proven himself as a business person. You act, you put on makeup and talk in front of a camera. Why should I respect your opinion at all? Did you build a business? Maybe did you, have you done things for your job was putting on makeup and talking in front of a camera. So should I respect that opinion or the opinion of somebody that's actually a business owner? So anyways, to me, I think it's funny that people listen to what's his face?
Robert De Niro's a big one.
De Niro's a big one. And then who's Forrest Gump?
Tom Hanks.
Hanks is a huge one. And I love him. I love Hanks. He's an incredible actor. But why would I just because he acts doesn't mean he's smarter and created a business out of nothing. I guess you chose a career path that you got lucky and are good at. But anyways, I don't take any weight in even if a celebrity endorses Trump, I don't take any weight to a celebrity or an actor giving me their opinion on something that has to do with country or government. I think it's a joke.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button, comment with something you learned, and make sure to subscribe to this channel. We give away more free advice on how to create wealth based on things we actually do every single day than any other channel on YouTube. Make sure to share this with a friend because our mission is to inspire you to think differently about freedom.